Here it comes from Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory in the haunted 444RR studios. It's the Talk Is Right, the only UCast with ghosts, goblins, and ghouls. Oh my! And now, here is your scary host, 444RR.
Alright, hello everybody, it is October 3rd, it's a Wednesday, and it's time for the next episode of The Talk Is Right. You can see by the intro we're doing a Halloween episode all through the month of October. Every single episode in October is going to be Halloween themed. I'm going to be wearing a different costume every single week here on The Talk Is Right. And I also have really cool Halloween items behind me. I've got Wizard Snoopy back there and life-size Wicked Witch over there. Anything you want to say to our audience, Miss Wicked Witch?
Oh, what a thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness.
I'm not a girl, but thank you for that. Alright.
Melting.
Why don't you continue with that, and I'm going to continue on with the rest of the show. It's time for game show news. Alright, so we're going to talk about game show news now. First, I want to talk about The Price is Right. Their male model search is still on. Go to PriceIsRight.com to vote for your favorite male model. It's down to 3 now. It's down to 3 male models. So, go vote for your favorite. Alright, you can watch all the previous webisodes of the male model search online at PriceIsRight.com. I want to talk about Price is Right's sister show, Let's Make a Deal. Let's Make a Deal offers a total of $100,000 for traders during Publishers Clearinghouse Week starting October 8th. Starting Monday, October 8th, traders on the CBS daytime game show Let's Make a Deal have a chance to win $20,000 in cash every day. The Wayne Brady hosted show is teaming with Publishers Clearinghouse for a week of shows where up to $100,000 is up for grabs. Each episode of Deal, starting with the week of October 8th, will feature a special game where the contestants can win $20,000 in cash. Throughout the week, the Publishers Clearinghouse will offer $100,000 total to lucky players. Games that they'll play include Smash for Cash, Go for a Spin, Car Pong, and Go Big or Go Home. The winning, of course, doesn't stop here. Traders can still win trips, prizes, cars, and one will have a chance to win the big deal of the day. If you remember last year, Price is Right did something with the Publishers Clearinghouse where they played Plinko every day of the week, and they upped the center slot every day. So $100,000 could have been won if the center slot wasn't hit on the first day and somebody won $20,000. But $80,000 was the jackpot. That's how high it got. So I'm assuming they're going to do the same thing for Let's Make a Deal. If nobody wins the jackpot on that day, it's probably going to roll over to $40,000, then $60,000, then $80,000, then $100,000. Okay, we're talking about ratings now for Family Feud, Jeopardy, and Wheel of Fortune. Syndication ratings have come out for the week of September 17th, 2012. And Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy both had their premiere that week. Wheel of Fortune had the #1 viewership in the first run non-sports programming. And it's #2 in the household rating. What does all that mean? Well, let me explain. It is the #1 show that is not a sports show on TV for syndication. Wheel had over 9.5 million viewers for its premiere week, scoring a 6.3 in the household rating. Compared to last season premiere week, Pat and Vanna lost 600,000 viewers and 0.3 of a household rating point. So it kind of lost a little bit, but it's still pretty high. Let's see. The third highest scoring first run non-sports syndication quiz show is Jeopardy. This came in at #3. Jeopardy premiere week this year scored nearly 8.4 million viewers and had a 5.6 household rating. Jeopardy actually gained over 250,000 viewers compared to last year's season premiere week. And coming in at #4 for first run non-sports spot is the little game show that could, Family Feud. They continue to set incredible successful numbers in their second week of new shows, scoring a 4.0 in the household rating and nearly 5.9 million viewers, which is a 300,000 viewer increase over just the previous week. and a new high for the program. So Family Feud is doing phenomenal. It's very important to know about these Nielsen ratings. They factor in programming that has a double run airing. So Family Feud does 2 shows. So they're factoring in both shows in their ratings. And also, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire scored a 2.2 rating in its 3rd week of new episodes. Viewership is unavailable for the Nielsen ratings. So, you know, I don't know. Millionaire's doing, I guess, kind of middle of the road type deal. Okay, so that's really, there's not very much game show news to talk about this week. Let me just double check my notes here and on the computer, make sure that there's no other game show news. Nope, I don't see any more on my notes or on the computer, so we can continue. Continue on with our next part. We're going to do the magic themed. Anything you want to say, Wicked Witch, before we continue?
I'll get you, my pretty. And a dog, too.
Well, okay, so Snoopy's right there if you want to get him. Anyways, let's go on to the magic-related news. Alright, so it's time for the magic-related news, and I want to talk first about David Blaine's stunt. I talked about it last week. More details are coming out about his stunt. He answered some questions for the press. It was a couple days ago, and I want to talk a little bit about what he had to say. He was in a Faraday suit, which is a suit that attracts electricity. If you don't know what it is, go Google a Faraday suit. Faraday, F-A-R-R-A-D-A-Y, Faraday. If you want to go Google that. He's going to be shot with 1 million volts of electricity for 4 days without sleep. And here's some of the questions that he answered. Somebody asked, why do it, Mr. Blaine? And he always likes to test the physical limits of stuff. And David Blaine had to say this, and I quote, "I've always been obsessed with Tesla," the guy who created the Tesla coil. "He was a scientific genius who created real magic by defying what his peers thought was impossible," end quote. An interactive component is at play as well. Viewers from various locations around the world, including London, Beijing, Tokyo, and Sydney, will be able to adjust the current on the Tesla coil machine. And people have also found that the project will benefit the Liberty Science Center in Jersey City, New Jersey, where Blaine has been the magician in residence for over a year now. The apparatus will be on display at the center after the completion of the stunt. But in terms of the endurance challenge, the biggest real challenge will be exhaustion. A sentiment echoed by Paul Hoffman, the president of the Liberty Science Center. This is what Paul Hoffman had to say. "There will definitely be incredible beauty in his performance. Lots of people will show up and just be amazed by the spectacle of it. But others will want to dig deeper into the science. How is he controlling lightning? Personally, I'd like to know how he stayed awake for 72 hours. I need that skill," end quote, says Mr. Hoffman. So, obviously, people are really excited about this stunt. I am. I think David Blaine is a really good performer. Say what you want about him. A lot of people don't like David Blaine. I think he's a really great performer. All of his stunts really test his physical ability. Even though it is all a trick, still, you know. Okay, we're going to move on now. Siegfried and Roy. You might remember them. Roy was the guy who got attacked by his own tiger on stage. If you want to see some footage, they have in Las Vegas a place called Siegfried and Roy's Secret Garden. It's a secret place. I think it's really only for the elite magicians. There's some HD footage of it where they show their big cats that they used in their act. You can go check that out. Siegfried and Roy's Secret Garden. That's the name of the video on YouTube. Go check it out. Siegfried and Roy also loans out their tigers for different other magicians who do different acts. Smash Mouth, you might remember them. They're the band who had, I think, really it was the one-hit wonder All-Star. I mean, they had other songs too, but All-Star was like their biggest song. They've actually released a new song, and it's a magic-themed song, and it's off their new album entitled Magic. And it's also the name of their debut single. Their debut single. It's called Magic. So it's got a lot of magic references in there, like making people disappear and things like that. So, congratulations to All-Star. It seems like a lot of people are putting out a Magic song. I talked about, Ross Lynch from Austin and Alley. He did one called Illusion. So, alright, I have to talk about one of my favorite performers in the history of Magic, or one of the newest performers in the history of Magic who I love so much, who I've talked about before and put my total support behind. Eric Dittelman experiences post-America's Got Talent boom. Eric Dittelman proved to be a big revelation for Magic on America's Got Talent this year. Not only did he experience great success with the fans and judges, but also broke new ground for mentalism on the program. Here's what Eric Dittelman has to say. I've been traveling all over the country and people stop me on the street now and recognize me. It's a lot of fun, Mr. Dittelman said, adding that he has several private shows booked and show dates will be updated on his website, ericdittelman.com. Before the show, I would have to make cold calls to sell myself. Now my phone is ringing, which is a much better situation to be in, Mr. Dittelman said. Well, when people see a show, what they don't understand is everything that goes into it up to that point. It's 98% business and 2% show. No one ever teaches the business side of reaching out to people. So, I'm glad Eric Dittelman's getting a lot of shows. I love him. I think he's great. So, I hope we see a lot more of Eric Dittelman, maybe even on TV, too. And also, I think if you're watching this, Miss Ellen DeGeneres, or if somebody wants to show Ellen this video, have Eric Dittelman on your show, Ellen. I think he'd be a good fit for it. Alright, and now it's time for one of my favorite parts of the show where I actually go into a magic trick. I can't wait for this. And hopefully the witch won't go off when I try to do the magic trick. We'll see. Anything else you want to add, Miss Wicked Witch, before I do the magic trick?
Curses. Somebody always helps that girl.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Speak again.
When I gain those ruby slippers, my power will be the greatest in Oz.
There is no ruby slippers here, but you do that. We'll be back with the magic trick after this. Alright, so I'm going to do a magic trick. The magic trick I'm going to try to do one that's Halloween themed each week. And this is the Zachman18's favorite trick, so I'm going to do it for you right here. Alright, here we go. I'm going to swallow this razor sharp sword for your enjoyment. Yep, swallow this razor sharp sword. Ready? 1, 2... 3 days ago when I tried this, I accidentally turned my favorite sharp white. Let's not do that again, shall we? Let's not. Alright. Would you like to swallow it, Miss Witch? I'll let you swallow it. You don't want to? I wouldn't blame you. Let a trained professional do it. Alright, here we go. 1, 2... I could back out if you want me to. I don't mind the chicken jokes. No? Okay, here we go. I'll do it. For real this time. No monkeying around. I'm really going to swallow this sword. 1, 2, 3. Oh. There we go. Yes. Okay. Very good. Alright. And that's the trick. It's the sword swallowing sword. I gotta tell you, it's a really, really good trick. Yes, it is a trick. Some people really do swallow swords for a living. And I'm gonna put the sword down. I'm not taking anything away from those people. Not to poke fun or anything like that. But it's a really fun gag to do in the show. Because I think most people know that, it's a trick, but it's a great trick. I mean, I do it all the time in my show, and people just love the sword swallowing. They really do. They get a laugh out of it more than they get like a mystical, magical moment. They don't really get that with the sword swallowing sword, but they get more of a laugh out of it. They're like, oh, okay. Because a lot of people don't know, no one knows how it's done, but they know it's a trick. You're not actually eating the sword. So, they all know. But it's a great trick. I love that trick. I use it in my show all the time. And it gets kind of a laugh, it kind of gets a, kind of thing. Like, oh, I get it, Alright, so now we're going to finish out the show here. And we're going to do a little YouTube Speaks right after this. Alright, so just a couple announcements before we close the show out. I do want to say, please join us for the rest of October. We're going to do Halloween-themed shows all October, so it's pretty exciting. Again, I'll be dressing up in different costumes. I might have some more fun and excitement later on throughout October. Okay. Also, we're going to talk about YouTube's Got Talent. That's going on for one more week. So you have one more week to get all of your audition submission videos in. We only have one video. So, if I don't get any more, there's going to be no YouTube Speaks. So if you really want to be in this YouTube Speaks, you got to submit your videos this week. Otherwise, we're not going to have a YouTube Speaks if I don't get any more videos. So everybody get your videos in. Remember, you can go back to the previous Talk is Right, the episode number 9, and you can just see the episode and get all the deets about it. But video responses only, and you can post them on the last video, or you can post them on this video, whatever you want to do. YouTube Speaks is coming back this week. Wasn't last week because of the YouTube's Got Talent thing. Here's YouTube Speaks for this week. All the YouTube Speaks throughout October is going to be Halloween themed, and I want to know the best trick you've pulled on somebody. So it's trick or treat. I want to know the best prank or trick you've pulled on somebody. And I don't want, for YouTube Speaks this week, don't post any video responses saying, I've never played a prank. Don't do that, because that's boring and stupid. I really want to know what's the best prank you've pulled on somebody for Halloween. So remember, keep it clean, though. You know, don't say something, you know, whatever. Don't do something that's not clean. Do a clean, your best clean prank. All right? So join us next week for another episode of The Talk is Right. It's our Halloween-themed show. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I don't know what I'm going to be dressed up as, or I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully we'll have some fun next week. All right, so that's it, and we will see you next week. For myself, our wonderful announcer, the ZachMan18, the spooky announcer, and from all of us here at the 444RR Studios, we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Take us out, Mr. Zach.
The Talk is Right is sponsored by the following.
Space Monkey 7, a game that is sure to keep your little monkeys entertained for hours.
This is the ZachMan18 speaking for The Talk is Right, a 444RR production.